Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name's Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. Today we're going to be doing a 3D box card with a cut file from my Etsy shop, and it does like little mountains in the background. So this cut file I have will do mountains in the background, there's a mountain insert for it, and then a couple of hills. I like that there's different layers. Like one of the inserts I made are like little tiny mountains and hills. You could cut a couple of those if you wanted like a really like mountainy background, but I think the background and the insert works well. There are also layering pieces on this so that you can either stack them or put very thin foam tape or extra layers of cardstock on the back for more dimension. They're pretty easy to line up. It took me a minute because the middle hill on the back and then the one that's larger in the insert are almost similar in size. The one in background is a bit bigger. So I was just trying to sort those out along with their coordinating little snow caps. And I ended up cutting these all in like a light fog gray, I think from Simon, the 80 pound. And I just thought I would cut it in the gray and then ink blend the mountains so that they were different colors for more depth. So as images get closer to you, they should be a bit darker. So I'm trying to do these insert ones a bit darker, and then I'll make the middle back one darker, but I think I leave the sides in the light gray. And I think actually one of them I glued wrong after this. I'd like put the glue on the front of the piece instead of the back of the piece for some reason. So I ended up throwing it out. So it does end up kind of being like 3 layers in the background here. So here I am. I was gonna not use the insert to begin with, and then I just decided to use it for the left side here, and I'm just using my bone folder to like smooth down the edges. I did cut this on my brother's Scan and Cut, so when you do that, the edges kind of like pull up a bit like you would using an X-Acto blade. So here I am putting the glue in the wrong spot. So yeah, so I like to smooth down those edges with the bone folder. It just makes it look a little bit nicer. And then here I am putting that middle layer on. I'm going to prop it up on a couple of layers of extra cardstock. So there'll be like the right side will be solid with the background. The left side will be 1 layer of cardstock. And then the middle one ends up being 3 layers with the 2 on the back and the mountain itself. So I'm just putting those extra layers on now. And then once that's done, I will move into gluing the inserts in. The middle one with the extra mountains on them, I actually kind of wish I had cut out of the white as well, just because you will see the bottom of that a little bit, because it doesn't get fully covered by the hills that I'm putting in front of it. So I will start with that back one. Generally, I would space these evenly. This cut file, the sides are 2 inches. This one, I wanted the mountains to be like living in the background as much as possible. So I kind of like butt the edge up of the fold over piece into the back, which you'll see in a minute once I'm done gluing all of these little mountains to their backers. Again, I wish I had cut this in white because you will see that bottom strip a bit, but it's not too bad. And then here I am going to fold the tabs with my bone folder. With the SVG files, I leave these as solid lines because you can change it in, I know that Cricut can be changed to a scoring. I'm not sure about the newer Brother Scan and Cuts because I have an older model and mine doesn't do scoring. So I end up doing the FCM, which is the Brother Scan and Cut specific cut files, in with like little dotted lines to help you fold over. But it's pretty easy to figure out where you want to do those score lines. If you want to do them separately on like a scoreboard after, you could always take those lines out of your cut files and just do it that way, because it kind of goes like straight down from each end of the mountain there. You'll kind of see where it folds out into the sides, and then same with the inserts, like I have them tapered at the top and the bottom, so you kind of see where that like 1/4 inch line would be. And to decorate this, I would recommend probably doing any of your stamping before, so which is, I just remembered here, I always do it after because I always forget about it. And I don't always add sentiments, but this time I'm going to. So I decided to do this before I finished gluing and assembling the whole card, which is good. Normally I do it like after I've assembled the card, and then sometimes it doesn't turn out quite as well because it's not sitting flat with all the layers behind it. But this one I'm just going to kind of mostly eyeball the middle area for this second hill, and then I will fold them all towards the right so I can glue them down. And I usually just try to make sure they're as straight as possible, but also make sure that the very corners of those fold over tabs line up with the top edge of the side panel, and it's super easy to do that way. I think the one of them didn't stick very well and I had to do it again, but I'm using liquid glue, so it takes a bit longer to dry. If you're using like a double-sided tape, it would be quicker for sure. And then this is the back matte layer. I have matte layers for the sides, the fronts, and the back. The back one's just so you can like write your personal message on the back, and I was going to put this on at a later date because I don't know who this card is going to. I ended up gluing it on after this video was done, but if you don't know who you're going to give the card to, I would recommend doing it this way and like just save that back matte with the card, because then you can write on a flat surface and then add it, just like quickly glue it to the back of your card after. If you do it before and then later you decide who you're giving this card to, then you're gonna end up potentially like just being a little bit messier with your writing because you're trying to write over the bumpy areas, which is fine. So just work whatever way you want, but I was going to leave it off, which is probably what I'll do from now on, if I'm keeping them. If I'm doing these for a craft market, then obviously I would include, because I'm not going to expect the customer to glue that portion on. But yeah, I would just like leave it off if you want to write a smooth message on it later, or you can just include your message as a like separate piece of paper or something. So here I am, I'm just coloring after stamping these images from, I think it's called Polar Bear Pals from MFT. It's an older set. I'm not sure if they still have it, but if they do, I'll link it below. If not, I'll link something similar, probably one of their newer sets. But I use this set all the time. It's good for Christmas cards. This one's going to be more of like a wintry themed card. I figured we were in January, so let's stay with winter for now until I get into like Valentine's Day cards next week. But yeah, so I'm coloring their scarves and just doing a little bit of shading, a couple of lines to indicate fur, and then I'm gonna cut these out using my die cutting machine. And because these will be layered on the card and they're only gonna get glued pretty much behind like the back of the legs, I thought I would just cut an extra piece just for stability for it later. Plus you won't see the coloring on the back of them if you're looking at it from the back, which you probably wouldn't see anyway, but that might bother some people. If it doesn't, you could leave it as one layer. But if you want, just cut an extra layer for the back of the card. And then I'm just gonna glue the bigger one on the front and then the little guy at the back. And they're kind of like waving hello there. So if you're interested in this file, I will link it in the description down below. It's at my Etsy shop as a digital download, and then you can use it with your cutting machine. These files also coordinate with my other 3D box cards that are also A2 sized. All the cards will fold down to an A2, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card, and the inserts are interchangeable throughout all of them. I think I do have to fix one cut file before I launch it officially, so I will do that soon. But yeah, so thanks again for joining me today, guys. I will see you again next week. Leave a like for this video, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.